All right. So welcome to the incentive planning. Now, next week for our training on Tuesday night, Janice is going to talk about the trip in great detail. I told her, sit down. I told her when we got back, I said, this is what I want you to talk about on your training day. She always does the third Tuesday. And I said, I want you to, because it was her first incentive trip that went through. She earned another one, but that one got canceled. So this was the first one that she went on, and I wanted her to talk about the details and things they noticed as a first timer, and because she took her husband and what he noticed, just to kind of give everybody a really good picture. Because I think sometimes you guys always hear about me and the trips, but you're just like, it's just Patty, she's on another trip. Where that wonderment and whimsy and deer in the headlights and the, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that, and oh my gosh, they done all this for us, that kind of stuff probably loses its vim and vigor with me. I still feel that way, but I probably don't project it. I can't stop looking at George. He's like licking his hair, and his hair is so long that his head goes all the way back. So I'm like trying not to, I'm like ADHD. I'm just be like, don't look at the cat. And so I have asked her to come and share her joyfulness with you next week. But to kick it off, if you can just kind of snapshot it in like 5 minutes, Janice. I know you don't have to do the whole thing, but maybe just share a little bit with when they announced the trip, when you earned the trip, and now that you've earned it, why everybody should earn a trip. Maybe go that route. You can go more than 5 minutes.
Okay. When they first announced that we weren't going to, I'll say, Ayers Rock, and that we got to choose where we could go to, I just couldn't believe that. Julian and I absolutely love cruising. It's the thing that we do. Up until COVID, we would cruise every second year, if not every year. And we were going to go to Japan in April 2020. But when I was watching on the news and I saw our ship in quarantine out Yokohama port, I sort of had a feeling that we weren't going to go. So, yeah, there was just no doubt for us, that we wanted to go to Alaska. It's always been on Julian's bucket list, and being a cruise as well just ticked all the boxes for us. To be completely honest, I was a little bit too scared to get too excited, because, for 2 years we hadn't been able to travel. I didn't know what it was going to be like. They said that the world was ready for us, but were the airlines, were the ships, so I was a little bit apprehensive, but the moment I'd got through, I'm not even going to go there, Patty. The moment I stepped foot on that gangway, it was the most incredible feeling.
It was before the gangway. We got through those questionnaire people who did nothing but look at a piece of paper and we're here, we're terrified. And then we get through and it says to ship. And I just looked at her, I went, oh my God.
Holy shit.
And then we walked to flight and the ship was there, and I just kept looking at her going, oh my God, we did it. We survived. We got through.
I think it was when I saw that sign and it said, welcome to Alaska and this way to the ship. Then I felt this like,
yeah,
sort of thing. But yeah, it was everything I thought it would be, plus more. So we have always sailed on Princess. So to go on the Quantum of the Seas was like literally a floating hotel. It was absolutely huge. It was beautiful. There was just so much to do there. But the biggest thing for me was sharing it with all of these people that had something in common. That was the thing that got us the most, and like, we chose to sit with, different people at dinner time sometimes, and we'd do that, and then we'd see them during the day, and they'd be like, oh, hi Janice, hi Julian, oh look, we're just going to go and do bingo, do you want to come with us? And yeah, the sense of just the community, it was just, yeah, incredible. We all had our own dining room, so we all sat together. So I'm not sure if you've cruised before, but there's usually 2 dining rooms. And yeah, it was just really cool that we were all together. So yeah, that was neat. The room drops, I'm not going to lie. I'm sure Patty just about tripped me up one day running to her room to see if there was something. Nah, she didn't.
I would have.
I reckon you would have pushed. But yeah, that was just absolutely amazing. And it was the thought that went with everything. So Julian came home with a frame for me. I haven't put it up yet, but like this was made, specifically for us. And, I'm going to cherish that forever. So that was obviously for Alaska. So yeah, it was just amazing. I never not want to go on another incentive cruise. Julian said that he won't be staying behind. And it's quite funny because I asked him if he could, he said to me, I'm going to town, do you want anything? And I said, oh yeah, I'm going to need to make some more samples. Can you please just grab me some stock card from, like the Asian shop or something? Because, you get it for like $2 for 10 sheets. And he goes, yeah, no problem. And I'll help you make the samples. When I came home, he came home with a ream of it. I'm like, holy shit balls, you're on board.
They always say if you have a spouse or a partner that isn't quite on board yet, they're just like, it's your thing, and as long as you're not bleeding us dry, okay, you do your thing since he's your thing. But take them on a trip, it's now their thing, and they understand, and they're not the only guys there. So that was, I think, the other thing. It was fun watching. When I have a team member go on their first trip, I like to watch them. So I'll sit somewhere and I'll just watch them, and I'll watch the husband or I'll watch the whoever, and because you can kind of see them being drawn in and embraced, and down to Janice's flights. Their flights had to be rescheduled because their flights got canceled, and I knew they would be fine. I knew Sensi would treat them like royally and fix it all up and they'd be fine. But they didn't know that yet. Like, they may have known that, but it wasn't confirmed within their soul yet. And then it was. And so I was like, yeah, because I know. But so to see them witness, and when Sensi says all expense paid, it is spending money that they put into your account, usually the week of the trip. It is extra, and some of that, like the spending money is also to cover any luggage fees if you have any or whatever. But usually when you come from this far, that's not a problem. You need luggage. They cover your flights, and you give them, now this time during pandemic life, you give them, I gave them all 4 of my favorite frequent flyer numbers for different airlines, and said just pick whatever one works for you. But you give them your frequent flyer miles, and if you don't have one, you do it before you give them your travel details. It's usually free to join, and you give them that so that you earn points towards free travel. But they'll put it under your travel points, not theirs, yours. so that your flights count for travel points for you and you get the credit. So you can also pick whether you want a window seat or an aisle seat or a center seat. Does anybody pick that? And they, as soon as you get off the planes, I know where I'm going. I just start looking around because there's always somebody with a binder, and the binder will have the current incentive logo on it. And there's just people. And they had them from the time they dropped us off at the airport, like the airplane landed, all the way out. So the whole, like, and even when they took us from the bus to the airport, transport afterwards, there was just a whole bunch of people in by the elevator, down the walkway, they're all hanging on to Scentsy signs. So you never have to worry about being so nervous you don't know what to do or you don't know where to go. They have it covered. They've thought of everything. When we got there, they had, all of us were kind of coming in from region 3, more or less. A lot of us have come in at that time. And there was a Scentsy person right by baggage carousel holding their Scentsy folder. And they kind of had a checklist. This is who's coming in. And they know if your plane's late and they know what to do. And they are prepared for you. And so we got there, and then Janice, Julian, and I were going to the same hotel. So they got us all our own cars, which were big ass black SUVs with wonderful air conditioning. And the good thing about America is they actually help you with your bags. Like even from the airport to the car, which wasn't a short walk. He's like, I can help. And I was like, okay, let him help. Wonder. So, and then they take us to the hotel. We got to the hotel. That was all sorted for us. They just gave us our keys. We were checked in. We got our COVID tests taken there. And since he paid for those, and those were $60 US a piece. And then we got into our room, and like everything was sorted there. We didn't have to share a room with anybody. I didn't have to spoon Janice or Julian. And then the next day, they just told us what time to be downstairs. You could put your luggage away, and there was a bus, one bus, two bus. There are buses outside, and they just put our luggage on there, and we went to the port, and then it all got, like, they think of everything. And when they say everything's included, I mean, everything's included. So if you don't have money, like I didn't when I first started, I mean, I still don't have a lot of money, but when I first started, I didn't have extra money to spend. And even when I went to the Mediterranean, me and Nathan, my cousin, he lived in Mexico, but I earned for 2. So, and it was global. So I could pick anybody in the world to come with me as my guest. So I called my cousin in Mexico and I said, you want to go on a free cruise? So we went to Spain, Italy, and France, and he didn't have a lot of money and I didn't have a lot of money. And it was amazing because you can eat all day. If you are not on a cruise, they give you money per day at your location so that you can eat. And it's a ridiculous amount. You can't eat that much. So it's nice not having to worry about money. It's nice not having to worry about food. You don't have to clean anything when you're on a Scentsy trip. You don't have to cook anything when you're on a Scentsy trip. You just are there to celebrate and to take it in and to make new friends and to experience something new and to be treated like the badass goddess that you are. Like, it's not some chump like, oh, but this is extra and this is extra. Nothing. Remember, I think I told you guys on the Booking Blitz, this hat was the only thing on my bill from the cruise ship. I can't say that about Janice though. My bill on the ship was $4.49. And when people saw it, they're like, well, drinks cost more than that. What the hell is that? I'm like,
I actually think I spent more in Seattle after I got off than what I did on the ship. I just want to say too, the thing that will, a couple of things will really stay in my mind, and that is like the welcome event from Scentsy and the farewell event as well. I can remember Patty came in after me, and I was standing at the buffet with my plate, and it was just all dessert. And instead of like choosing what I wanted, I'm just holding my plate and I'm just looking here like, it was just like, from chocolate swans to, chocolate, not just chocolate dipped strawberries. It was like everything you could think of. And they had that made just for us. It was like
Right.
just for us.
Because they had 2 sets. So because there were so many of us, we couldn't all go to the same event. So they all split it into 2. So they had to do that twice. And so,
I'm going to get smart next time. I'll do the early and the late setting.
name tags. Except you're going to see totally different people at those, which there was probably 3 or 4 people I really wanted to take photos with. And we were chatting before the trip and we never saw each other. And I was like, oh, so, but there was 1,000 of us that earned the trip. And Dan said it was 0.05% of the company. And I'm not a numbers person, but when he said that, I almost teared up because we have had some hard years, people. COVID slammed us emotionally, mentally, physically. Holy crap, we have been through some things. And the people on that trip are the exception. And Julian said it. He's like, well, you guys are the minority. Yeah. And when Julie, like that clicked for Julian, I remember him just looking at us going, I'm like, oh my God. He goes, yeah, you guys are the minority. And this is what hard work does. But it's not like labor intensive mining or scooping manure. It's not work. Like it's not manual labor, like carrying your bags to your party, maybe. Making samples, that's manual labor. That's like factory work. When you start, you love it. After a certain point, when you're doing thousands a month, you're like, oh my God, would someone else come do these? So everybody can earn it. And we had to do way harder things for every incentive up to this point than you do for this one. So I know that every single person can earn this trip without a shadow of a doubt. What will determine if you earn it or not is within your brain and your heart. And you have to decide. I've been nominated to do the talk about incentive trips on the all consultant call on Thursday. So part of this you might hear again, but I've been thinking because I know why they nominated me. Because I just say what I need to fucking say and I try to bring the fire and I don't care if anybody likes me or not. So I truly believe that you're in one of 3 categories. The first category, you don't believe you can do it. So you say, no, I'm not really interested. Or I'm not really interested in Fiji. Let me just tell you.
I wouldn't care if it's in the cold desert. I'd be going.
The first trip that we were supposed to go on was a cruise between Australia and New Zealand. And I was like, all right, fine. It's a cruise. Great. Swell. It's a vacation. But that got canceled. And then they announced the big red rock in the middle of the hot place with the dirt and the bugs. And I was like, oh my God. Just keep working, Patty. You can take the payout. And then I'm like, well, do I take the payout or take SFR? Well, I don't know. I don't really want to go there. It doesn't look fun. It's hot. It's hot. And I even had people messaging me going, oh shit, Patty. That's not a Patty vacation. I'm like, and then I thought, well, but if my friends are going, I'll probably never, ever freaking go there on my own ever again. But it's one of the wonders of the world. All right, I'll suck it up for 4 days, whatever. Come back this bit much bigger because of bloating, because of the heat. fine. So, but I just keep working, but I'm just like, ugh. You do not know what Scentsy has planned. You just never do. You never do. They've surprised us so many times with different things on incentive. When you get to the incentive, they all of a sudden spring something on you. So when they waited for us to earn the trip because they want to know who's serious and who isn't. And that's what they're trying to do. We're not going to tell them that that trip was canceled to the hot rock in the middle of Australia. We're just going to keep going like it. That's where it is. And we'll see who falls off and who doesn't. But it had canceled in January. They knew way before that it had canceled, but they didn't tell us. So once it was over, then we each got personal phone calls from Faith telling us that we had a choice between Norway or Alaska. And we didn't have to pay the extra flight because you can choose another region's trip at any time if it's open. But you have to pay the difference in flight cost. But Faith fought for us because we had so many trips. We had 3 trips canceled that she said, you have to give them something. You need to let them pick whatever they want. So Faith did that for us, but she personally called all of us one by one and told us the news. And I had Alaska on everything. I couldn't have afforded to go to Alaska now when I'm trying to move home if I would have had to even pay for the extra flights. The flights were well over $2,000 for just me. So I don't want people to get stuck in that hole of, well, I'm not really interested in Fiji. Me neither. But if I'm still here, going to freaking Fiji. You learn that it's not so much about the trip. You really it's not about the location. It's actually about the people. You do learn that over time. Yes, the experience is great and the location is great and all the things are great. But I have gone to some hot ass places like Singapore for free, thanks to Scentsy, and Mexico a couple times. It's hot, but I went and it was free and I had an amazing time. So number one, if you don't believe in yourself and you're just saying to yourself, I'm not interested in Fiji, I don't like to travel, I don't like this, I don't want that, it's just Fiji, I've already been there, is bullshit. And I don't care if you've been there or not, you haven't been there with Scentsy, because Scentsy treats you way better than your own planning does, unless of course you're a multimillionaire and you can do all those things and there's presents on your pillows every night. Number 2 group is, you can do it, but you don't want to. And when I say you don't want to, I mean you're not willing to do the work. And doing the work means getting uncomfortable, being afraid and doing it anyway, being told no 100 million times. It means doing whatever it takes to get where you need to go to hit the numbers that you're tracking. And I'll tell you right now, this is probably the biggest category, is people aren't willing to do the work. So they don't go. And then they complain and say, oh, I wish they'd make it an easier option for us. And I wish they didn't do this, because it happens every trip. And you're like, I just be quiet and leave the group at that point. I'm just like, back away. And the third one, these ones are my favorite, but you have to have follow through. I don't know who that is, so I'm not letting them in. It just has the letter B. So
it's me. I'm trying to change computers that I'm on. Sorry.
Okay. Make sure you mute one so that you're not echoey.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know who that is. So the third group is you believe in yourself. You're probably a little scared. There's a little doubt within you. Holy crap. But I want to do this. I know I can do it. I just have to figure out how to do it. And that is the magic. That's where you need to be. You believe in yourself and you want it. And when I say you want it, I mean, you need to keep focused for 6 months, and that's not always easy. So you need to make sure that this is a constant. You don't have to see the trip. You don't have to look at the trip every single day, but you have to know why you want to earn it. You have to feel it within your soul. I keep pictures around because that's what helps me. I'm very visual. And it just reminds me, keep going. The pictures from this trip, there's a certain picture. Some of you know the picture. That's getting printed out and put it everywhere, because that alone is worth working to be in the group that I was invited to be in that group. You don't get to touch, talk to, rub elbows with, hang out with, shoot the shit with, drink a Coke with some of the people that you look up to the most in person, unless you do the work, because they do the work. Even Deanie Morehouse, the very first consultant in Cincy. Now she's Circle of Excellence. So she gets one free trip. She gets, every trip is included. She gets her trip for free. But the second one she does have to earn. So she does have to earn a ticket for her hubby. Not that she couldn't afford to pay for it anyway, but I don't know if you've ever seen Deanie Morehouse's Instagram, but there's pictures of her sitting on the floor, labeling orders, wrapping presents or wrapping orders. She still does everything that a certified consultant has to do. It's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And you just have to hit enough people. The answer to everything, more people, more conversations, more relationships, more posting sometimes, more reaching out when you're scared shitless of being rejected, being told no. They always say a director is just someone, as a consultant who heard way more no's than you. And it's true, because when you have your sights, I always say this, if your child or your most beloved human being that you can't ever picture being without needed a life-saving surgery by the end of this month, and the only way they would get it is if you had 2,500 PRV this month, you would find a way. You would find a way. The rest is excuses and noise and bullshit. It's just how bad you want it and your priorities and your planning, because you don't earn a trip by accident. It takes planning. It takes you probably rejigging sometimes. I remember, was that the last one, Janice, that I was like, yeah, but if you just do this, then you still did that. And you're like, oh my God, that's right. Don't box yourself into that plan so much that you fail to see maybe you know how your GPS, when you're driving somewhere, all of a sudden it goes, save 3 minutes by going this way instead. And you're like, all right. You have to be able to do that on your drive to your incentive trip. So sometimes you have to reroute. Sometimes you're like, oh, there's a detour. You're like, oh crap, I got COVID and I've been down for 3 weeks because I'm sicker than a dog. Or it might be, hey, I just found an easier way to get there. Wait, sweet, great. And you might have a really high month and then you might have a really low month, but you just keep tracking. So that is the key. I'm going to unmute, or I'm going to ask Janice to unmute. As far as doing the work and not being afraid of the work required, but just sticking to the course, you're really good at that, Janice. So maybe just a couple of tips on how someone new that's never earned a trip, some wise words.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to say the newer you are, the easier it is. The reason I say that is, sure, if I get paid at title, when I get paid at title, I am going to earn $1,000 per month, which will give me 6,000 points. However, the chances of me promoting in the next 6 months are not that great. Whereas for you, every time you promote, like if you promote to certified, you get 1,000 points. If you promote to lead, you get 1,500 points. Staff, 2,000 points. So that's something that Patty and I can't achieve because we've already climbed the ladder. So don't think earning incentive is just something for people that are higher up. When I earned Bermuda, I was certified. I started off certified. And yeah, because I was a certified consultant. And then, yeah, I was star by the time I'd finished, I think, by 6 months. My biggest tips are, like, I set myself, like, I have my projected goal where I want to be, and I keep revisiting that. I see where I am. It's like doing a follow-up for a customer. I am very much a numbers person, but I don't just set a plan and not revisit it for 3 months and think, right, I'll just catch up. I'm on it all the time, not daily. Well, but yeah, I probably would track at least weekly. Also, I'd keep a good track of my team members to see where they are, because that's somewhere else where we can use, where we can gain points. Do what you can to help them. You want them to certify, you want them to promote. So, I mean, it is really very much a team-based thing.
Cool. All right. So anybody have questions at this point before we go into planning? No? Okay. All right. So you may have seen I added a whole bunch of different trackers. We have an Excel tracker for you people that like Excel. I'm like allergic to it like children. We have the one that Danielle Norstead did, which is kind of Excel-y, but prettier. But there's a couple of things she got wrong, I noticed. She used this for the last one, and there's some things that you don't get points for anymore. The grow with the flow points. So, but I did like this tracker part of it. Sometimes I just like certain people's chunks of things. Mine, I have to see where my points are coming from at all times. I can't just do a bulk color in thing like the one that's on Workstation. That never works for me, because I'm like, wait, so where's this person? What's this person? Who am I keeping an eye on again? Oh, who am I helping there? Like, my brain doesn't do that. So coloring helps me. And then this is the tick off as I go. But I have used this tracker since the day I joined, and then every incentive, I just tweak it for that incentive. But literally within my first 3 months, I earned my first trip. So using this tracker and I've earned every trip since. So I guess what I should start, because maybe we skip this or we do need to go through it. Did you all go to the incentive tab in Workstation and go through how to earn? And if you did, are you confused or does it make sense? Please unmute yourself if you need to.
It makes sense for me, but I'm just really pants at planning. I need help planning. I'm not a strategic sort of, me. I'm just like, run in and just do it, and hope it all goes well. So
Okay.
yeah, so I need help with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody just not understand the parameters of where you get your points from? Or does everybody just need the same help just to plan? Yeah, I'm getting the nod from, I'm looking, I have you squished. Okay, so everybody just needs that. Now, I'm going to show you my way, and then maybe Janice has a different way, because Janice's brain works different than mine. A lot. But we are both Geminis. All right, so what I did, because I already did my planning on the back of one of my trackers. If you have any team members whatsoever, I'm going to tell you, go look and see where they are. And I made a list of my essentials that need to get to certified. And all of them are joined before this month. So they would, if, when they certify, it's 250 each. So obviously I want to work with them. They get 1,000 points, I get 250 points. So for instance, Missy Bodine, it's really gonna mess with me. When she certifies, because she will, she's gonna get 1,000 points, but because she came in before this month, then I'll get 250 points because she's my personal frontline team member. You only get points on your personal frontline, which sometimes sucks, but yeah. And then I have my certified to lead, people that are certified, but I think could get to lead in the next 6 months. And then I have my leads and who could get to star, my star to get to superstar, and anything I'm like, maybe. I put little question marks, which means I don't fully believe in that. Like I'm being cautious. And then my SSC to D has Annette's name because Annette wants to be a director by December. Which would also get me to my next promotion, which is the whole point. Like she wanted to be my first, but she might put me in the position of finally getting my promotion. So not to sound completely greedy about this at all, Annette knows. Annette knows, Annette knows. Full love, Annette deserves to be a director. All right, so, but those are points that like, hold on. I'm not planning on those 8,000 promotion points to star director. They're in the back of my head as a possibility, but they're not part of my plan. They just aren't. I don't know. With all my being, I hope it happens. Only Annette can make that happen. So, and I can help Annette in any way I can, but Annette's gonna get, when she promotes to director, she's gonna get 5,000 points. So if you have team members, that's what I suggest doing, is just going down and really look at it, being truthful. If you have a lot of dead weight in there and they're just they order once every 7 months, 200 PRV, they're probably not going to be interested in promoting to lead or star, but you can have the conversation if you want. But usually you can kind of feel, usually it's better to have some newbies, but don't always think that your newbies are going to be immediately certified. There will be some, but if you think, oh, I just need 1 or 2, you might need 4 because maybe 2 won't do anything, but 2 might. So you don't know. But just as an example, this just happened. So say you recruit somebody today and they certify by the end of the month, and you had, so say they start this month, which means they had over 1,000 PRV this month, and say you had over 1,000 PRV this month, okay? You're gonna get 1,000 for them promoting, and you're gonna get 1,500 for promoting to lead, which means your 2,500 points are done. So that's the only non-PRV points you need, done with one person. If you and them are working the same month at the same time, even if the next month you don't do anything, but you want to try to get to lead by the end of this month to really rack up points. And the reason is because for every month you get paid at rank, lead and above, you get bonus points. So even if you're a lead by the end of this month, so you would get 100 bonus points for being paid as a lead, plus you'd get your 1,500 bonus points for promoting. And every month after that, if you get paid as a lead, you get, but say you promote to star, well, then you get your star points are 2,000 points, and then you get paid 300 points for being paid as a star. But maybe the next month you get paid at lead again, you still get 100 points. So it's always good to try to get to lead by the end of the first month if you're not already there, because that'll help you bank extra points going forward. Does that make sense? Okay. You can use the chat if you don't want to talk as well. All right, so how I always do this is I take 2 tickets and I have headings, I have both. I have 2 tickets, 1 ticket, and nope, that's not mine. But if you wanted the SFR option, you can choose the SFR. The SFR option, I did the math today. If you had no recruits, you still need to be selling about 2,500 PRV a month, because then you'd get your bonus 2,500, you get your, and you'd have to go to World Tour and get 2,500 PRV a month if you wanted to do this without building a team, and that would get you free registration to SFR. I was trying to figure out other way to do it, but that's pretty much the only way I came up with. If you came up with a different way, let me know, without having any recruits. All right, but we're talking about the trip. So, and by the way, 2,500 PRV a month, every single month will get you annual sales, which also gets you a 1,600 New Zealand dollar bonus at the end of the year, gets you a trophy, gets you walking on stage, gets you a special ribbon on your lanyard for SFR, gets you special recognition on a banner, gets you lots of things. So 2,500 is always a good place to go and try to aim for it when you can. All right, so what I want you to do is put the number. So if you want 1 ticket, if you're aiming just for 1 ticket, you write 25,000 at the top of your paper. Then I'm going to have you remove 2,500 points. So minus 2,500 for your bonus consistency for having at least 1,000 PRV every month. And then you're going to minus 500 PRV for registering and attending World Tour in February. Registration opens later, don't worry about it, but you want to attend. That's our regional event. It's usually in Wellington or Auckland for New Zealand people. And it's all over Australia in different places. So I don't know all the locations. So that is kind of what's left. And the numbers that are left are dependent on you getting paid at rank and how much PRV and how many non-sponsoring points you get. So I'm going to just give you my breakdown just so that you can kind of see it. So I have 25,000 points. I would minus, and if I'm just getting paid at title or paid at rank as director, I get 1,000 a month for that. So 25,000 points minus 6,000 paid at title or paid at rank, minus 2,500 for bonus consistency, and then minus 500 for World Tour. That gives me 36,000 point. Oh, sorry, that was at the big ticket. This gives me 16,000 points left to either get in PRV or non-PRV points, which is my sponsoring bonuses or promotions, or promotions don't even count as non-sponsoring. Helping my team to promote, which works out to be, if it's just PRV, 2,667 points per month is what I need in PRV or sponsoring. So if you are somebody that's thinking, oh, I'm going to get 500 PRV, it's not going to cut it. Unless you're recruiting like 10 people a month and getting them certified, it's not going to cut it. And this is the hard conversation always to have, because you might be terrified because you're used to be getting 500 PRV or 200 PRV. That doesn't get you a trip. You have to grow. You have to put yourself out there. You have to go big or go home or stay home. Haven't we all stayed home enough in the last 3 years? So that's how I broke it down. I start with the ticket amount, so 25,000. I take off, I know I'll get paid at title, so I'll get director every month, so that's 1,000. I mean, if it goes up, great, doesn't it? I just keep picking on her because I can. And then the 500 World Tour, but that's really it. where you guys, if you're a certified or a lead, you have points to keep promoting. So you get thousands and thousands of points. So that's the smart way to do it. And when I earned my first trip in 3 months, I started as an essential consultant, obviously. I completely skipped certified, went straight to lead, and then went to star. So March, April, May, June, July. I was a star consultant. Yeah, I was a star consultant. So in that 3 months, that's what I did with my business. And it was just me sharing the product and telling people what it was and asking them to do it too. And saying, oh my gosh, you want to do this with me? And some people are so afraid. I had my first recruit within my first 8 hours in Scentsy. I just happened to tell my neighbor. And she said, that sounds fun. Can I join? I'm like, sure. I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but come on, we'll do it together. And so I had already had my first person. So that's where, now if I go up to 45,000 points, just to give you an idea, did the same math, instead of having 16,000 points left to deal with, I have 36,000 points to deal with, which means I need 6,000 points per month in PRV or sponsoring, or those points. Now I can go back and look at my points from previous things. There are months that you can do that. We have the busiest selling seasons of the year coming, but you have to grab it with both hands and you have to work it. You have to work the LTOs. You have to do, I mean, if in-person's your jam and social media isn't, then in-person yourself a lot. But if it's not, for me, it's, I mean, I'm known for my parties, but I like to stay home. And so I have to force myself to go out of the house. I have to force myself to hand out samples and talk to strangers and give out packets and think outside the box. Like, oh, I'm going here. I better bring some samples and a recruiting packet with me. Oh, I'm going here. I better bring that. Oh, that's right. They said they were going to meet me somewhere. I'll bring that. It's having one-on-one smelly sessions if you can't get a party. It's having bag parties. It's having pouch parties. It's having Facebook parties. It's having fundraisers. It's trying everything. It's not pigeonholing yourself into one thing and going, it's not working, I'm not getting enough points. You have to be able to spread. And the easiest way to get these points, I hate to say it, is to build your team. Because when you build your team and you help them in their first 70 days for shooting star, certified, they get you to lead, they get you to star. Together, all of your numbers, you can't do it alone to promote. You have to build. So be excited, have good energy. Don't keep talking about how sick you are, or what hurts, or all the weather's crappy, or don't be that person. Nobody needs any more of that in their life. Be the reason someone smiles, be the light in someone's life, be good energy. Because people want to be around that. And when they want to be around that, they're more open to listening to what you have to say and wanting to spend more time with you. People keep telling me I'm a breath of fresh air, and I'm just like, and every time I come home, I'm like, it's because I don't vibe low. You don't have to be obnoxious and American, but bring your vibration higher. Would you want to be around you? Does the room get darker when you walk into it? Most of you have already heard me say that 1,000 times. But I'm going to quickly share that. All right, so this is the workstation. You get a point for every PRV. You get 500 points for attending, not registering, attending and registering. You get your PRV consistency. You need 1,000 PRV at least 5 months out of 6, but I'm telling you right now, you need more than 1,000 PRV per month, unless you're recruiting really, really well. Personal promotions, activity bonuses, frontline consultants who promote to certified, frontline consultants for certified, frontline for lead, star, consultant, superstar, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And people, if they double promote, like last incentive, I had somebody go from lead, she went from certified to star. Yes, she gets both points for lead and star, And I got 2,000 points for her because she went to lead to star. So, and then like 2 months later or a month later, she decided she didn't want to be that. And she completely took herself off and gave up her team. But I still kept the points, thank God. I don't understand. But anyway, that's a whole nother topic. So if you haven't looked at this, I find this really scary because they're really, really banking on you building, building, building. And I know that's not everybody's major goal. And I know it's not always the easiest. Some people recruit better than they sell, but most people sell better than they recruit. And I think part of that is people don't believe in this opportunity enough. They think they're bothering people. They think they're pressuring people. They have this preconceived notion that, oh, she makes enough money, she doesn't need this, or, oh, she has a full-time job, or, oh, she's busy, or, oh, she doesn't have a lot of money, or all the bazillion excuses, instead of just offering the gift of, I think you'd be amazing at this, and I'd love to work with you. Can I tell you a little bit of what I do, and let me know if you'd like to do it too? Like, it is like offering someone a cup of coffee, a piece of gum. Stop being so selfish with it. Stop putting yourself, if you're too worried thinking about, oh, what if she thinks this? You're not thinking of her. You're thinking of you. So you need to get out of that headspace. I wish I could make every person I love join this business, because that's how much I love it and how much it's changed my life. Now, you might not be at that place yet, but the more you do this kind of stuff and work towards this, your business will grow and you will be into that pool of feeling like I feel. Trust me, because that was not why I joined. Exactly. So just kind of overtake me. And 3 months later, I was like, hey, this is my home, man. And then I haven't left. So if your starting title is certified consultant, look at the PRV they're making you get every month. 2,000 PRV every single month. And then you'd get your 2,500 PRV consistency. And then it said sponsor 4 consultants that certify, which means you probably need like 8. Just to be honest, I'm always honest. Am I not, Sarah? Yeah. Have one of those promote to lead. It could still be the 4 that are up there, but one of them goes to lead. It's 1,000 points. It's probably the same one that'll go to star as well. It's another 1,000 points. And then, you promote to lead, you promote to star, and then you get paid at lead and you get paid at star. So there's your points. So this is a very, very balanced. It's scary looking, especially if you're newer. It's very scary looking, but it's very balanced. Very balanced. If you look at the next one, which is starting title lead, they threw in you a 2,500 PRV in October. I would put it in November. If I had to pick a month, I'd put it in November. There's some months that are just higher than other months. November is one of our highest months of the year. At least it is for our team. And January is usually not as high. You could do 2,000, but you never know. The way Sensi is with launches and things and LTOs, and you never know. You're still looking at your 2 consultants that are certified, but instead of 1 lead, you're promoting to 2 leads. And probably one of them will go to star, and then you'll get your personal promotion. So that's how you read these. You can wiggle and bobble and waffle around, but if you notice how short the director one becomes, I looked at this before and I was just like, oh, well, they dropped our numbers down because our bonus points are higher, but we also can't promote as much. So notice how we don't have any personal, what do they called it? Personal promote to start. No personal promotes down here. So they kind of took us with our consultants. 4 of them to lead, God willing. But But these, they're the same as you. I probably need 8 to get the 4. Not everybody that comes in will certify. Some will be like, when they feel like it. Some might be a kidnapper. You never know. So does this all make sense, or is this as clear as mud? All right.
I'm unmuting myself again.
Yeah.
Can we, is there somewhere to print that off? There used to be a thing you could print it off, because I like the visuals on that, but I can't see it.
I usually just do a screenshot and then print that off.
Oh, sweet. Good thinking, Batman. That's why you're the director.
Don't say that. I'm sure there's a better way. So do you have, so with your plan,
So I will message you later.
are you leaving?
Yeah, sorry, I need to go. But
That's
I'll
okay.
be back.
See you, Rach.
Okay. Otherwise, Marco,
ya.
follow me if you have questions.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, Sassy. So with your plans, aiming for 1, aiming for 2.
Aiming for 1. Steve said I said, shall I aim for 2 so you can come? And he said, no, you go. And I was like, well, no, I want to go with you. Like, you know, I've never been overseas. It'd be nice to take my husband. But realistically, looking at like how my booking blitz has been going and things, yeah, I'll aim for 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is what your business looks like today. Keep going.
Yeah.
Because one party could turn into 2 or 3 parties.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
Don't put that little cloud.
Yeah.
The way my booking blitz is going. Don't put the bad juju in there. Just keep the good juju. I'm not being toxic positivity. I'm just like, be careful of what you're, and I know
what you're manifesting.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got a party this weekend, and I have a customer who she works where Steve trains the high school girls for football. And she is a customer of mine, and she has a warmer at school, and people have asked her about it, so she brought in catalogue and stuff like that. And a couple of people have taken like samples of hers and stuff, and I said, look, do you just want me to I'll make a Sacred Heart College party and you can get the rewards, and we'll just leave it open for a couple of months, and those people, if they want to buy, can go through that and you get the rewards. And she's like, oh, that'd be awesome. So she's been running around saying, this is Steve's wife, you know, he does so much for our school, so, you know, help his wife and all this. So yeah, so she's like really, and that's my first like proper basket party, and it kind of just fell into place. So yeah, so that was really cool. Like as soon as she said, I took the brochure and I was like, oh my God, what about a basket party?
Sometimes when you're excited, they get excited. But if you're like, could you do me a favor? I'm trying to do the. Yeah.
And I never try to approach it that way. I either don't approach it, or I'm like, balls to the wall, let's do this.
And then the other thing I would say is, while you're earning this extra money, because your business will be going up, because it has to go up if you're going to get the trip, it automatically go up if you're on the trip, like as you're going, because you'll be promoting and earning. I say make a percentage that you tuck away and do Steve as a buy-in.
Yeah. I haven't said that to him.
It's a regional one, so it won't be probably as expensive like as a global one. So
no, I've thought about that, and he probably won't want to come because he's not that he's not a real peoply person, but if he's made to, because I've bought him a ticket,
fucking sit by the bar and have an umbrella drink and talk to nobody. It's free.
Well, you can talk to Julian because they know each other.
There you go. I'm like, you don't have to be alone on a Sensi unless you want to be alone.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to stay in my room to be alone.
Yeah, I think once he got there, he'd be fine, but he's just like, he's a bit like me, like, I don't want to people.
And he probably doesn't want to pressure you either.
Yeah. So no,
do you have a plan started now, written down, tracking?
Yes, I have. It's pink and purple and blue.
Look at you using pink.
I know, but I did it.
All right.
It was the brightest color I had.
All right, Miss
Not
Jocelyn.
that bright.
Shush. Jocelyn,
Yes.
what's your plans, man?
I don't have any. So I have maths runs through my head. I worked out today that you needed to earn, without sponsoring or anything, 143 points per day, PRV per day.
Okay.
The fact that I'm not well at the moment sort of my head went, holy shit, because I actually haven't got any PRV this month. So get my finger out of my ass and
Step
get my
one.
ass into gear, get a plan and get a move on.
So are you going for SFR registration or are you going for the ticket to Fiji?
Vicky and I decided we'd go for Fiji.
Okay.
So look, I'll try, I'll try my hardest and we'll go from there.
You push the shit out of Vicky. Do you hear that, Vicky? Because I would be so I'm like, would it make me come to Fiji though if you and Vicky both earned? Because I'll be in another region most likely, so I want to go to Canada. But I'm like, but Vicky earning a trip after all this time, I'm like, maybe it would make me come to Fiji. I'll sweat for you, Vicky. I love you. Okay. So
I thought Kathy's thing that she put up just before was really good, and I thought it was very Mad Hatter Party. Have the unparty. When I was thinking about it, and I went, oh, that's very Mad Hatter, and I was thinking, something's coming up about that very soon.
I did not see that post yet. One of the things that my friend Maricela, who's also coming to talk to our team this month, is starting. This is something that's started in America because it's summer there, but they're doing block parties. And what they're doing for block parties is they're creating one group, but they're asking all these different hosts, and they bring the hosts and all their friends into the one group. And they give through Linktree or Bitly or whatever, each person gets a special link. And so when their friends order, they use that link to order from the website and choose their friend's party, whatever. But so you're basically doing one Facebook party, but you have multiple hosts in there with multiple guests, and the hosts are trying to earn at the same time. So it's a block party. Wow. So it's just an idea that I'm throwing out in case it appeals to anybody. Efficient, you don't know till you try. So I might try one. But I'll have to look at that. Now you got me curious. So Jocelyn, do you understand the point scheme?
I think so.
Okay. If you need help, holler.
Yep.
Vicky's brain works really well too with numbers. So you guys are good at that. But sometimes the mechanics of the understanding of, well, does this count for this or whatever, then she comes to me and we're good again. So yeah, let us know if you need help or you need any assistance. I already know what Janice is going for. Otherwise, that would be weird. I think I know what Annette's going for. Please unmute. There you are.
Hello. I've pretty much just worked on what I think I normally do. I've just got mine doing for one
ticket, yeah.
2,000 PRV for 6 months, 2.5 for the consistently, 5,000 to promote. I have 2 that I've earmarked to be lead, 3 to certify that enrolled previous to August.
Okay.
Leaves me with 2,750. The month I promote to director is 1,000, and that leaves 1,750 over the other 5 months of consistency bonus.
you'll get 5,000 when you promote to director.
Yeah, that's included. That was, yeah. So that's basically how I've done it as just a basic. And that's what I've worked out in my head. And yeah,
Nice.
in the pool, what I do every morning, I channel that.
Sweet. Well done. Nice planning.
Thank you.
Sending you good juju. All right. Yeah.
Sarah,
Oh. Ralph.
moving to Ralph.
He never usually comes in up, but he did tonight. So I thought, oh, I better show him off.
Ralph.
So yeah, he's not super comfy being up here, but he's saying hi. Oh, yeah, that's him done.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's okay.
George,
He likes cuddles on his terms.
George is used to it. All right, Miss Vicky, I'm unmuting you, and you're going to Fiji for one, apparently.
Hopefully.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
I'll try.
Better, thank you.
I'm very behind, as always.
It's
I'm super
okay.
behind.
There's a lot that can happen in a day, and there's a lot can happen in a week, and there's a lot can happen in a weekend. And you are very consistent at doing the tasks, and they tend to flourish all of a sudden. So just trust in what you're doing. Be Jocelyn's running mate. And do you have questions about the points or anything like that?
It is a bit confusing, but I think I'm clearer kind of looking at that. And even if you tell me now, I'll probably forget anyway. So I just have to keep looking at it and working out, you know, for myself, kind of what I need to do or how many parties that might look like. I'm just going to focus on, well, pretty much whatever, but I've got a few leads to do for bag parties and things like that. And me and Jocelyn are thinking, yeah, we need to get our head around fundraisers, because I do have a good friend who will let me do one in his business and stuff. So I've got no excuse really to do that sort of thing. So
Just take the steps, believe that you can, and make a plan so that it's like, you should have an idea, a snapshot each month, what you need, how many points, like, because it'll show like how many points you need, whatever. But you know, then at the end of each month, if you're behind and you need to make it up, or you're ahead of the game and you're like, oh, sweet, which doesn't mean slow down. It just means, oh, great, in case I have a slower month later, it'll make it up. But just always know where you are during that. So maybe make a tracking sheet that you understand, or if the Excel is how your brain works, because it does the math for you if you use Jamie's.
I forgot how my brain works.
Okay.
It is if it's there, maybe if it's there already, but I don't know how to like make one or anything yet.
No, it's already done. Jamie does it every year. It's in the team page, and you pop in the numbers and it adds it up for you. So it shows you what you need.
All right, I'll have a look for it.
And then you pop in what you do each month, and it'll show you your actual based on your goal. So you know if you're on or off. So if that's more your style than coloring and stuff, that's cool. But yeah, there's a couple different.
That will definitely help, because then if I know exactly where I'm at, then yeah,
that might. Oh, so Kathy has said, I know a bunch of you are in this incentive, Let's Earn Fiji group or whatever. I have said it might go better if I'm not in there, because maybe you feel more pressure if I'm in there, but you might relax and talk more and keep each other accountable more if I'm not in there. However, if you're not in that,
I don't mind if you're in there. It doesn't.
No, but so what I want though, like, I'm gonna mute everybody again. Kathy was really cool about putting the group together, but Kathy, it's not just about Kathy. So Kathy also needs people to bounce things off, and she needs good energy. And some of you need really good energy during your day because your days kind of suck ass. And so it's good to hear from other people going, oh, I did this today. Even if you're just sharing, making samples, even if you're sharing, oh, I gave someone a sample today, it was really scary. Oh, I talked to 5 people about joining today. Does anybody want to do a 10-minute booking blitz with me? Use each other as fuel and as motivation with each other and to inspire each other, because you all are in the kind of the same boat. And there's nothing more that I would love to see is all of you sitting in Fiji on a lawn chair with an umbrella drink going, holy shit, we did it. We did it. And me going, I know, I told you could. So keep whatever that vision is for you. Miss Kathy. We need a date to talk anyway, but yep.
Hello.
Hello. Look at her. She's in Fiji.
Practicing.
Love that.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get some fundraisers happening.
Okay.
I'll pop some flyers on notice boards in shopping centres. And a couple of those little things have flown off. So fingers crossed somebody will contact me. And now it's, just trying to get some parties or even basket parties or any kind to start rolling in, and that I've earmarked a couple of markets that are coming up in the next 6 months, like towards Christmas. So
that's a good idea too. Go to the events tab in Facebook and see what's coming up in your area for the next couple of months, and see if you can, or look at school events or fairs, market stalls, expos, things like that, where you can kind of build your customer base up a little bit, get some more leads and things.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing that I'm finding is I'm needing more feelers out there and going in different directions. So yeah, that's where I'm probably at the moment.
And you're doing Fiji for 1 or Fiji for 2?
1.
Okay. I cannot wait to see this group photo when you're all on the beach. Let me just say, I think I may cry.
As long as there's no bikinis required, I'll be fine.
If you all, when you all earn the trip, I'll be like, Faith, I have to go to Fiji and I have to wear a bikini in front of all of them because it was a bet we made. I'll take it for the team if you all get there. So, all right, Bodine, Miss Newbie, is your head spinning? What's going on?
Yeah, it's a lot, but I'm staying positive, and we'll see what happens. It's a bit overwhelming, but
it is. You're very new, so I understand.
Yeah.
Are we aiming Fiji for 1?
Yeah, just 1.
Okay. And do you understand how the points work, or do you need some help planning?
No, so I had been like researching and stuff and reading and watching, and I've pretty much got on top of it now. So
you're so good.
Good to go.
That's why I think Bodine doesn't understand how amazing she is. I'm like,
thank you.
Only I had like 5 more of you right now. All right. Well, I am here, or we're all here. If you want to be in that group where people can bounce ideas, Kathy can share the group with you. If y'all want me in there to kick your asses, I'm happy to be in there to kick your asses. But if it's easier not for me to be in there, I completely understand too. It's like mom's not here. Does anybody have any other questions?
I want to know what hairspray Kathy's using, because like the trees going for gold in the background and your hair is right there. It's incredible.
Yeah, I bet you my air purifier would go on high again. I really love that. That just made my day seeing your background like that. I'm going to stop recording. For anybody that's watching this afterwards, if you still don't understand it, please let me know and we can have a one-on-one, or if you're on Janice's, more than welcome to help you as well. So whatever works, or if your brain doesn't work like mine and it works more numbers like Janice's, I'm sure she doesn't mind if you reach out to her as well. So if I'm too airy fairy for you. Yeah.
Patty,
Yeah.
can I just share mine? Because I do mine quite differently, as
Okay.
you probably guess. I
Yeah.
won't tell. Obviously, I want to earn for 2, but I work mine out for 1 to start with, because I like to break it down into chunks. And also, the reality is, if you don't recruit, I'm not going to get it for 2 anyway. So I know what I need to do as a minimum, and then the rest is basically going to come from recruiting. So how I work mine out is what I know I can definitely do. So I'm going to get the paid at title for 6 months. So that gives me 6,000 points. I'm going to get the 2.5 consistency, and I'm going to get the 500 from going to World Tour. So that gives me 9. When it comes to my sales points, I don't work out what's left. I work mine out differently. So I work out what I think I can achieve, going just by experience, and I just set myself a little goal of what I want to achieve that month. So like for me, for August, I've got 2,000 because I've still got 3 more parties to have this month. December, I've just got 1,000, but that's a bare minimum. I'm not saying to myself I'm only going to get 1,000, but that's just how I work it out. So that gives me another 9,000 points. So I'm sitting at 18. I have got 4 current frontline that I promoted prior to July. One of them has already given me 250 of my sponsoring points. So from the other 3, when they certify, that will give me another 1,000. I've got a new teamie, and I've got another one signing up next week. Get them to certified, that's another 2,000. So that's going to give me 3,000 points from recruiting and sponsoring. So I'm up to 21. I have got 4 frontline members that are going to promote at a minimum to lead. So that's another 4. So that gives me my 25. So that is my bare minimum. But what I've written on the bottom of my tracker is the answer is to recruit at least 1 teamie a month. So, and that's at least. So that's in case some of those don't promote. Plus it also gives me the fact that if I recruit more, they can also promote as well. But I'll look at stage 2 once I've banged this out. The other thing I just want to quickly say is when it comes to the consistency, if I, for example, already had 2,000 PRV for November and I had a party at the end of the month, and if I felt that December was going to be a bit light for me, and I'm talking like in the last days, I strategically put that through in December. So if I had a party like say on the 29th, 30th of November, and I'd already reached, if I was already over my 1,000 consistency, but was feeling a bit light for December, I would bang it into there. But that's just what I do.
And you just have to make sure that the corresponding events of the month go with that as well. Usually they do it this time of year, but just in future, just before you look at what's coming, what the prices are, what people ordered, if there's any LTOs in there and they might sell out, they might go away.
Promotion, like, you know, like there is at the moment, to get an extra warmer and things like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's me. I just want to say too, Patty will be like, gosh, she won't shut up tonight. Some of you may not be aware, but our flights home got cancelled. And Patty, like, she knew that Sensi would take care of it. And once I went and spoke to Eldon, Julian said to me, what did he say? And I said, he said he'd take care of it. And I said, you know what? That's actually all I need to know. And from the moment I spoke to him, and he just said, look, don't worry, we'll take care of it, it was fine. Now, when I say he said he'd take care of it, he said to me, the latest time you can leave the ship is 8:30, and we will have a car waiting for you. So he said, just be down there by 9:30. So we got down there. A van came along, and Dan hopped in, and he said goodbye to us, and off he went. And then there's Eldon said to this lady, what's happening about the Pettit car? Where's the Pettit car? She goes, just one moment, I'll call. Is the Pettit car on its way? And she goes, it will be here in 11 minutes. And I'm like, oh, it's fine, we're early. Wow, this big flash ass limo black SUV turned up, and the look on Julian's face, he was like, it's not over yet. Just like their treatment. So anyway, we hopped in this SUV, and it took us to where they had put us up in Seattle. It was not an average motel. So they put us up in the Marriott Resort. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Now, when Eldon, Peter emailed me and said, like, this is your accommodation in Seattle, this is your accommodation in Hawaii. Oh, it was just dreadful, I tell you. And he said, and look, we will take care of transfers to the airport and everything, and there'll be money for lunch. So we got a taxi to the airport, flew to Hawaii, went to Maui first, and then we went to Honolulu. Wow, if I thought the place in Seattle was nice, Hawaii, oh my God. They said, here you are, Mrs. Pettit, you're on floor 20. And Julian's just like, he's just beaming from ear to ear. We didn't have to pay for a cent. It covered all of our transfers. Like, we had 3 airport transfers. It paid for our food for that entire time. Eldon said, oh, there'll be a bit of money in there for lunch. Yeah, we didn't have to put our hands in our pockets for anything. It was just an incredible experience. And like Patty, it's something that, I really want everyone to experience. Yeah, there's just nothing like it until you've traveled the Sensi way. Right, that's me, I promise, Patty.
Bodine is off for tonight, but goodbye, Bodine. I will talk to you if you need me tomorrow for your party, even though it's my day off. But if you need me, please just text me, and I will help you with your party if you need it. I know you're a smarty pants. I'm going to stop recording. Thank you for sharing, Miss Janice.